So I just wrapped up today's live session with my LPP team, and check this out. We made the most of it, and I'm not going to, again, overcomplicate it. Yesterday, I had a red day. I lost $10,000 on SQQQ. Today, I've closed most of my position as we test the resistance at $19, but I'm up about $20,000 on the day, which is pretty much just what I was up yesterday before I gave it all back. Very grateful for today. I'm not going to make it more complicated than what it is. And all I shared with my LPP team and the words that I wanted to use, I didn't want today to be glorified in the sense of the way that I traded. The only reason that today was so good is because how well conditions were. And this is a perfect example of why we always talk about trade less, profit more, wait for opportunity to present itself, because all day yesterday, I traded literally all day, and I went from green to red, and I lost $10,000. And today, within the first 45 minutes of the market, I was able to make everything back. And it wasn't because I'm an amazing trader. It is literally because conditions were favorable. So if you have the ability to stay disciplined, stay patient, to actually focus on quality trades, then days like today should be something to work towards, right? The thing to look out for. Direction was in our favor. Market sentiment was in our favor. And we're going to talk exactly why there was so much selling pressure and that big gap down from NASDAQ market, as you can see from our yesterday close to where we opened at. And then we just formed lower highs, lower lows, just like we expected and we talked about yesterday. I was just a little early with my setup yesterday, but we are now finally trading below the 4-hour moving average for QQQ, which is the NASDAQ ETF. And we haven't done this in a really, really long time. What is going on? It's very easy. So Moody's also warned that, let's go to the very top. And it talks about that bank slide after Moody's downgrade for 10 mid-sized banks. This is following the also U.S. credit downgrade that we got last week, if I'm not mistaken. So Moody's also warned that the sector's credit strength would likely be tested by funding risk and weaker profitability. Pretty much what this means is they're saying that banks are not as great as they were, and the concerns that we had of banks earlier on, of banks failing, that concern has not pretty much been solved yet. Like, that risk is still there. Big banks like Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, fell 2.7, 3.6%. And then banks like New York Mellon and US Corp fell 2.6, 4.9%. So Moody's putting warning on some banks and which adds to Fitch's downgrade for the U.S. Treasury measure market last week, and has given investors additional reasons to be cautious. And that's all I'm taking this as is, it also means that the concern that we had back in March with these three banks and the defaults, they're not over yet, right? And I think that's just really encouraging that although we went through this like really strong rally for the overall market, that's great, right? But now it's kind of going back to the basics and seeing that the concern is still there. We have our up and coming CPI data report this Thursday, which could just fuel this selling pressure, or it could just ultimately end up changing. At the end of the day, no one knows exactly what's going to be announced during that CPI data report. But if you are asking the question, why is the market selling off? Why is market sentiment more bearish than bullish today? It is because of Moody's downgrade on those big 10 banks, which is causing more concern and more fear being injected into the market. There's no reason to overcomplicate it other than that. We have big tech selling off, and it's nothing crazy, right? It just depends on what side you are on. But as of right now, tech is pulling on back. NASDAQ market is testing a major support range. And let me make this very clear. We are below the moving average on the 4-hour time frame, but this does not qualify to me as lower lows and lower highs below the moving average, right? I still want to see lower lows and lower highs of different candles trading below the moving average. This is the first break below. This is kind of like when a candle breaks above the EMA on the 1-minute time frame, but then breaks right back down below. It means nothing if it doesn't continue to trade below that specific range. Then that's exactly what I'm going to try to pay attention to and asking those difficult questions. Are we actually seeing continuous selling pressure a negative market sentiment, which means that I probably just want to continue to then trade SQQQ as that goes up when the market goes down. Remember, the only people that freak out when the market pulls on back or when the market drops and crashes are those that simply did not prepare. And you're going to be able to see that very clearly. True traders can make money in both bull markets and in bear markets as long as you focus on one thing, and that is market direction. Today was just a very favorable day because market direction was in our favor. And as of right now, we're walking away with around 21, not walking away because I haven't closed it out yet, but right now we're right around $21,000 on the day. If we break below this major support that we're seeing right now for QQQ, this would blow us through that $19 resistance, which again, working towards that $25,000 goal today. So we'll see what actually ends up presenting itself. I'll keep you up to date if you're part of our LPP team. And if you're not already, again, I do trade live and I only work with one team. You don't have to join, but if you want access to me, if you want a better understanding of what is causing the market to go up or down in real time, I go live with them every single morning. And if you're feeling lost when it comes down to your trading, and it would be more valuable for you to have someone watch live every single morning, you get to see my entries, you get to see my exits, but most importantly, you get to hear my thought process behind every single trade. If you want to learn more about that, again, that is the second link in the description down below. And I hope to see you for tomorrow's live trading session. Hope that we're in a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. If you have any questions, shoot me a direct message via Discord or Instagram. And that's the first or third link in the description down below. If not, like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.